Hello everyone, Larry Satchwell here, in front of my wall of black-eyed Susan vine. Can you believe it's already the end of the month? Been super busy lately, a lot of projects going on. Let's take a quick walk through the fall garden. I'm gonna send you up top here of my gazebo. There's more flowers on top than there are on the side. I came out here earlier today and there was a hummingbird working the top. Not sure if it went down into the gazebo or not. The snail vine finally showed some color, but now all the flowers are gone. This is my setup. There are a few hummingbirds left. I saw one this morning, saw one yesterday. But there are few and far between. I think the ones I'm seeing are just the ones that are migrating through. But I've got this flower set up here. I had it all day yesterday, nothing went on it. Hopefully, trying to get a close-up. This is a camera. This camera has a motion detector in it. I'll show you what it looks like through the camera lens, but so far, no good. Ooh, I do see an anomaly over here. I wonder if I can sneak up on him. Let me focus here. There he is. This is the time of year I'm gonna see a whole lot of those. I know you can't see this on camera, but this is an enormous spider web I'm about ready to walk through. This web has a gold tint to a bronze kind of tint, and it is super strong. And that's that invasive species of spiders. I'm gonna leave them alone. I did kill a Chinese praying mantis the other day. Maybe it's an Asian mantis, I don't know, but it is an invasive species. They're about 6 or 7 inches long. I found a couple of egg sacs last year. They look a lot different than the egg sacs of the normal native praying mantis we have here. So they're easy to tell. Hard to destroy. All right, so we're over here by the shed where my filter is. I planted these right after I made the last video. Only 3 came up. I assure you I planted a whole bunch more than that, but they were old seeds. I've got so much powdery mildew on this Jerusalem artichoke. This just looks pathetic. I'm gonna move this 4 or 5 feet down the fence here next year. It'll winter over. One of the bird feeders, I think that's an luminary. The okra, I have stopped harvesting. It's just so tall. One of the plants has died, but it's holding up the other plants. It is, I would imagine 9.5. I don't think it's quite 10 feet tall yet. I'm just leaving it here because there's no reason to take it out. And as you can see, no progress made here. I've been doing a lot of repairs. I've got to repair the chicken coop roof. I've got to repair the tack room roof. I've already repaired the back wall of the tack room that was rotting. I've got painting to do at the house. Just a ton of stuff to do. This year, I think I'm going to take this vine out before it goes to seed. I keep saying every year I'm going to take care of that. It's a cypress vine. It took me 3 years to get one to sprout, and now I just can't get rid of it. They're all over the garden. There's red hot poker in here and bee balm, and the bee balm is covered up with powdery mildew too, and that's just because it's so there's no air movement through here. That's what causes that. I think I plucked the last tomato off of here. Looks like I don't think I'll eat those, but I got the last one a couple of days ago. In this bed the other day, I went all in. I had several open packages of radishes, lettuce, some carrots, and and they were old seeds, some going back to 2021. So I planted everything. Been watering it every day. I've got a lot of stuff coming up. I it is what it is. This is going to be the winter garden. I'm not spending $5 for a 4-pack or a 6-pack of lettuce at the big box stores or at Walmart. It's just crazy to spend that much money on 6 plants when you can get 3 maybe seed packets at the same cost. Our year-round lettuce has finally gone to seed. We had a wilted lettuce salad the other day, 2 days ago, and maybe one of the last ones, unless some of this stuff comes up. I've got the screens over here because I let the chickens out every night and the cats. So I know I've got some radishes coming up. Those look great. I think I see one little carrot. In this area here, I just ran out of room, so I broadcast the seed there. It's gonna, if it comes up, it's either gonna be a wheat or a lettuce seed. All right, time for true confessions over here. I started putting this in this wire basket here, a tomato frame, when it had about 3 leaves on it. And I had planted a whole bunch of summer squash here, yellow squash, straight squash. And I thought that's what I was making this trestle for. But it turns out it was a cucumber. And so now this is over 6 feet tall, 7 feet tall here. I've got cucumbers coming up all over it. So if nothing else in our salads, fresh salads, well, at least have a homegrown cucumber. And I should, if I'd known this was a cucumber, I would have put it on something like a cattle panel, not a straight stick like this. But I was sure for the first 2 weeks that it was a yellow squash. Not so. I'm making a wooden flag for my son and daughter-in-law for their 5th wedding anniversary, since it's wood. So I had to go out and get stain this morning. So while I was out, I stopped by the growers outlet we have here in Loganville, great place to buy plants, and bought another one of these Helianthus plants, autumn gold. It says it has flowers from July to November, and I have not been disappointed in this one, so I picked up another one. I looked here, I'm going to show you a close-up of this in a second. This is next year's growth. That's critical. And I've got some down there too. The same thing with cardinal flowers. One of my cardinal flowers died and it doesn't have this bottom growth. The other one has a lot of it. So I'm going to mulch that good over winter, put some leaf mulch on that, and then in the spring pull it off. This one needs water, that one needs water, but I'm going to plant this one right here until I decide exactly what I want to do with the perennial garden. That lantana, and there's another one beside it that's more in the shade, is not quite as big. I love the fact that it takes up that much space, but I hate the fact that it takes up that much space. I could be planting something more productive. Right now I've got my eye on some echinacea, they're orange, kind of pumpkin looking, at Walmart. They're starting to wilt a little bit. I'll be checking them every other day. I think that lady comes to the Walmart on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I checked the one in Monroe the other day, and they had already gone too far. She couldn't even put them on sale. But if I know her, those are going to be on sale for about $3. A 1 gallon plant for about $3 in the next week or so. I'm going to add that because I don't have that color to my coneflowers or echinacea. Raspberries behind me are doing well. Right now they're just in a holding pattern. Not much to do with them. Right here in the bee balm is this pepper plant. We had stuffed peppers last night for dinner. I love stuffed peppers. My wife not so much, but she's so kind. She makes them for me a couple times a year. I really appreciate it. Here's that other lantana plant I was talking about. Quick walk through the perennial garden. Verbenum is everywhere. Still have some nicotina blooming and some more coming on. Oh, let's back up here. My balloon flowers. These are not the ones I cut back. These are coming up from the bottom. On the stems here that I cut back, nothing happened. But hopefully those will spread. I really like the look of those. There's one That one right there is in the balloon phase. That's why they're called balloon flowers. And then it will open up for that, like that, for a couple of days. We're in a semi-drought. We haven't had rain for a couple of weeks. There's no rain in the 10-day forecast, and they're officially calling it a light drought right now. I need to get my grass down there for the horses overseeded, so I'm going to be putting out a lot of water here in the next 3 or 4 weeks. That's the only way to get it going. This tickweed and this echinacea, they are Walmart finds. They've been blooming now for months. The bees are still working. The black-eyed Susans, for the most part, you can maybe see one back here that's still blooming, but they have come and gone. I leave the seeds up there for the birds. And the butterflies are loving this late blooming zinnia. Let me get this little guy, he's moving. Really hard to weed right now because they don't come up. You pull on them and all you get are tops. You don't get the roots. We really need a really good rain in order to get the roots. I'm gonna spread some pre-emergent through there this next few weeks. I hate doing that because I know there are plants in there that come back from seed, but so are all these weeds. This is a prime example right here. This, that little bloom there probably has 1,000 seeds in it, in each one of those blooms. And these are really hard to control. So are the morning glories. I pushed back and cut back a lot of the black-eyed Susans here, and you can see the new growth there already. I'm trying to make some more room for the echinacea. I'm going to leave you today here at the Mexican petunias. These are from JM. So is the bee balm I have here, and I've got some Solomon's seal over there. All of these came from his house. I had a recent visit with him about 2 weeks ago. He's not doing real well, so if you could keep him in your thoughts and prayers. He's got a hip problem that's preventing him to get around like he wants to get around. So he's in some therapy, but it's not a nerve. They think it's a muscle, so not a hip replacement, anything like that. So hopefully the therapy will help. Anyway, if I have any, where are they? If I have any lettuce coming up for the next visit, I'll show you. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty short because the only thing we've got coming on right now, these peppers are still blooming. Still going to be warm, mid-80s every day next week, but no rain. Thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, I'm bringing this to you on Saturday because Sunday is the 1st, and that's the day I put out my Happened Last Week. And I'm also currently at a Highland Games in Clayton, Georgia. A Highland Games for a foster home. It's a fundraiser. So I'm always glad to help out with fundraisers like that. Now, thanks for watching.